Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Our Community with Whitney Prather. Learn about what's happening in Stark and Tuscarawas counties and the surrounding areas. We're going to highlight interesting people, businesses, organizations, churches, events, and even more. Stay tuned. Bussey is the president of Visit Canton. Their mission is to attract people and events to the region to experience all of the amazing assets of Stark County. Allison is passionate about creating a stronger community through collaboration and inclusion. She is proud to live in Stark County with husband Jason and daughter Avery, a junior at St. Thomas Aquinas High School. When Allison is not working, you're going to find her being a weekend DIY warrior, gardening, or enjoying the great outdoors. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be speaking with Allie Bussey today. Allie, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. It's so good to see your face.
Oh, so good to see you too. Allie and I used to work together when Visit Canton was a part of the Canton Regional Chamber. I used to be a staff member at the chamber, and I have such good memories of you, Allie.
Likewise, we used to have such a great time and do great work for the community, and you're still doing great work for the community. So that's a whole new way. Thank you.
I want to know a little bit about Visit Canton. I'm interested to know about your vision. Can you tell me a little bit about what you guys do?
Sure. So we are the Stark County Convention and Visitors Bureau, but our name is, we're doing business as Visit Canton because our job is to get people who do not live or work here to come to Stark County to either visit with their family, host an event, host a sporting event, which is a huge part of what keeps us busy, or even host big meetings or conventions. So pre-pandemic, we kept quite busy doing all of these things. And then when the pandemic hit, we also realized that in order to survive and for our industry to survive, we really needed to start talking to our local community as well. We were kind of not very well known within our own town because our job was to bring people in, and we were really shifting to making sure that we could help our industry survive and thrive here by having locals also be part of the conversation. So our job is primarily sales, marketing, and promotional. So we're kind of the marketing agency for the county, so to speak.
That's a great way to explain it, actually. I'm so familiar with the organization because of the affiliation with the chamber, but just having you explain it like that, it makes even more sense to people who may not be familiar. Before we get into how you guys had to shift, and I love how you said, we shifted from being super guest focused to being, focused on the people who live here and dwell here already. But before we get to that, I want to know about your team. I want to know who's on your team and what they do and all of that good stuff.
Well, thank you for asking. I am so blessed because we have such a remarkable team. So what makes Visit Canton unique is we don't actually own any of the product that we're representing. So I don't own our company doesn't own any hotels or restaurants. Our role is basically to tell the story for other people. So our team is really our primary asset. So there are 9 of us on our team. We are a small but mighty team. And one thing I'm very proud of is it's all women. We are women, not on purpose. It just so happens to be that all of the people who are most qualified for the positions they own are all fabulous, fierce women, and they're wonderful people of integrity, and we all have different roles. Some of our team, we're divided into 2 teams. We have a marketing team who also encompasses our partner relations. And then we have a sales team, and that's the people that are going out selling, bringing events here. But then also once we are awarded those events, who make sure that those folks, when they come to town, have a wonderful experience. They service those events, whether it's providing welcome kits or welcome tables at major events, or our VIP wristband program that we have had for several years that is now becoming an online version so that people can check in with their phone at our different partners and receive a special discount if they're here as a guest for a sporting tournament or a meeting or so on. So my team all has very unique talents. They range in all different ages. I have someone who's just out of college, and I have someone who's getting ready to retire here in the next few years. So we really are very fortunate to kind of have our finger on the pulse of multi-generational within our community. So we hope that gives us a really unique voice to be able to touch all of the market segments.
Wonderful. Allie, how long have you been with Visit Canton?
I have been at Bussey Canton for 12 years. I started out, Whitney, back when you first met me, I was a tourism marketing manager. My job was to bring people here to have a weekend getaway, or to bring their family to do family fun, or to get a motor coach group to hop on a bus and come spend a few days here. And then I became the assistant director. And for the past almost 4 years, I've been the president and CEO.
Wonderful. Tell me about the 12 years. What have you learned during your time here? I know that that's kind of a lot of years to kind of distill to one answer, but I'm curious what you have learned about Stark County.
I have learned that I'll never know all of the amazing gems. I'm still learning, even after having it be my role to know as much as I can about all of the amazing assets we have. Either new things are coming along, which is wonderful, or little tiny hidden gems that people have are always coming to the forefront. I am astonished and so proud by the amount of nationally and regionally known assets that we have, that communities 2 and 3 times our size would be over the moon to have. Things like, of course, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which I think everyone on listening today has at least knows that the Pro Football Hall of Fame is in Canton, Ohio. However, we have 2 other national attractions in the William McKinley Presidential Library and Museum and the National First Ladies Library. So for us to be able to boast just those 3 alone would be pretty fantastic. And that doesn't take into account the other amount of massive arts and cultural, historic, amazing parks and active recreation. We have a wonderful culinary scene as well. So, I mean, we're very fortunate. And I think the thing I've learned the most is sometimes Stark County is its own worst critic. And a lot of times people outside of the community are like, oh, I've been here, I've been there. And then when you talk to people who live here, I can't tell you how many people it's like, I've never been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Or, oh, I didn't even know there anything was going on here in this community, and so on. So that kind of, when we did the shift, and I know we'll talk about that later, that became really apparent to us that we all have to do a better job of being proud of being a Stark Cantonian and all the things that we have that no one else can lay claim to right here in our own backyards.
Yeah, there are tons of hidden treasures. Let's talk about the shift now, because I think that's a really interesting point to rest on. There's a lot of people who are criticizing where they live, and there is a shift that you guys had to take, but there's also something that we need to do as people who live here, Stark County, in Stark County. We need to shift our perspective, especially as restrictions are on us. Maybe we can't travel. We need to really put on our Door Explorer hats. I have a 5-year-old. So.
Get your magic backpack.
Yes, Diego.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, you know. Anyway, yeah, we need to put on our explorer hats and just really explore the beauty in our county. So can you tell us how you've encouraged people to do that, and what resources that they should really take advantage of while doing that?
Absolutely. So we've always had at least a small part of our mission about encouraging and educating local residents and supporting our partners. But before I kind of talk about the shift, I should probably mention why it's so important that this industry stay healthy, because pre-pandemic, the travel and tourism industry of Stark County is a $1.8 billion billion-dollar industry annually. So that's a lot of significant economic value to the community. It's one of those industries, because it doesn't rest in all one space. It's not like when you look at Diebold or Timken or the hospital, you can see that place and you know that, wow, this is a massive place. Look at all the jobs that it has. Look at the value it brings to the community. The travel and tourism industry as a whole is everywhere, interspersed and interwoven into the community. So you don't realize that over 14,000 people in this county have a full-time job in the travel and tourism industry. So these are people that are contributing to our economy. And this is a very important industry to make sure that our economy is healthy. So as the pandemic began to emerge, and a lot of our partners, and including even people on our team, we were really concerned that if this industry dries up, it will have a major impact in the future growth of our economy for years to come. So we realized that we needed to, number one, help our partners stay in business. And that's something that all of us can do. And that you hear people, it's been novel for several years now to say shop local, but it really became the necessity. We wish all of our, chain partners well. We have nothing against the, chain establishments of the world. But right now, if we're going to sustain this industry, please, this holiday season and always invest in your local restaurants and your local shops. Consider donating or purchasing a membership to one of our amazing museums. You can do those things, and they make really great gifts. You can get a family pass for the McKinley Presidential Library and Museum. It's really affordable, and you can go all year round. And it's a fantastic way to get out and about once, it's appropriate to do so. And that's just, one of many examples. The Hartville Marketplace and the Hartville Kitchen. The Hartville Marketplace traditionally sees about 2 million people a year. So if we don't find a way to support them, what if we don't get some of that traffic back? I'm certain they're going to. They've been one that have been very innovative. But we realized that if we're going to have these people survive, it was going to be up to us to tell that story throughout the town. Hey, get out, support local love on these businesses so they can stay vibrant and stay alive. Our arts and culture industry have been really, really hurt by this pandemic. Things like the Palace Theater are just now starting to kind of open up with very limited capacities, but they're really doing innovative things. They had a drive-in movie series at downtown Canton this summer. So it's wonderful because it's forced people to be really innovative, but I really hope that all of us take the responsibility to support those. And we really shifted all of our attention into where you can get carry out, what places we're having virtual programming. Almost all of our museums are doing some sort of virtual programming where you can stay safe at home and experience all of the amazing assets that we have. My favorite holiday place is the Massillon Women's Club. I am from Massillon, and I spent my childhood going there every year. So I have such a soft spot in my heart. And right now you can check it out online. We have a tour. If you go to our Facebook page, we actually did a Facebook tour live where you can go and stroll through with us guiding your way on video, all the things that make the Massillon Women's Club amazing. So support and get out and support your own communities. That's kind of my big thing that I would say. And then secondary to follow it up is remember that we're not in competition with each other. So in order for us to get through this together, it's going to take someone that lives in Alliance, maybe stopping in Massillon and having a meal, or maybe someone that lives in Navarre, head up to Canal Fulton and check out, the Dragonfly Tea Room. Or there's so many places. We have to learn how to be visitors and guests in our own backyard in order to stay safe and to keep our economy going.
I love it, Allie. Those are really great tips for us. And I want to know, I want the clear perspective on the industries that you service or that you work with. So it's not only like, local shops and restaurants. What other industries does Visit Canton touch?
So our main industries that we work with are the hotel and lodging industry, the retail, food and beverage, arts and culture, parks and recreation, festivals and events. Festivals and events have been another one that have just been really, really hard hit this year. Obviously, we'd all be living under a rock if you didn't realize we had an amazing Enshrinement Week powered by Johnson Controls that welcomes hundreds of thousands of people over the course of that first week of August. And that's just one of the many, many major events that make our economy go. So without having those events, we have to find other creative ways to support those partners and to keep them around, because we want them to come back bigger and better in 2021 and beyond, because this is what makes us a really thriving community. And we want to make sure that we protect all of those people and all of those volunteers who give up their time to make this community such a special and hospitable place.
Yeah. So you mentioned Maslin Women's Club. I'm curious to know, what are some of your personal favorite attractions other than that?
Oh, wow. Am I allowed to have favorites? They're all my favorites.
I know. You're definitely allowed.
Okay. Well, they're different things for different reasons. So,
okay, give me a couple then.
One of my favorite places to dine would be probably Bussey and the Twisted Olive and the Crush House. I love the feeling of being transported.
I've seen you at the Crush House before.
I'm sure you have. They have amazing food, and my husband has a gluten allergy, and they have an amazing gluten-free menu, especially at the Twisted Olive. So for us, it's one of those places that it's really easy for him to have an amazing experience and not have to compromise because of his allergies. But because their ambiance is amazing, their service is amazing. So for date night or girls' night, you'll find us probably there.
I love that. I love that they're so versatile, and the fact that they give you that ambiance. And I mean, this is not sponsored, as the influencers say, but I love that they give you the ambiance, but then also that they cater to specialized menus. It's super cool.
Yeah, I love that about them. Another place you'll find my family often is we are avid users of the Stark Perks. We love the Towpath Trail is one of our very favorites. Just recently, I started going to Walborn Reservoir. I hadn't been there before, but I kept seeing everyone post about it. And another place that I didn't even realize, such a hidden gem. It's in the very northeastern corner of the county, up in the Alliance area. And it's astonishing. It has fantastic trails. The views are amazing. Stark Parks has become such a huge, repertoire in our family, and there's always a Stark Park nearby. So no matter what I'm doing, if I just want to get a quick 20-minute walk to clear my head, or if we want to do a 5-mile trek up and down the Towpath Trail, that's available too. And they do such an amazing job of taking care of the assets and wonderful programming options. And most of all, it's free. Those are the other things that I love. So no matter, what walk of life you're coming into, you can experience some great, great things here in Stark County. And then probably my other favorite would be, I love the Canton Museum of Art. And we're actually, they just are opening a brand new exhibit that we are so excited about. It's called Dancing in the Light. It just opened on Friday. And it will be going on through March, and it is an Impressionism exhibit. And some of the works have never been seen in a museum setting before. So it's going to be truly magical. I encourage everyone to check it out. And there's actually going to be a light festival called Illumination that will begin in January. It'll be every Friday and Saturday evening in January and February. Starting with First Friday, which happens to be New Year's Day, there will be a light festival in downtown Canton. Even with the pandemic, it's outside, it's socially distanced. You can walk it, you can drive it. It will include the Cultural Center with light mapping on the outside. The Hall of Fame City Ice Rink will have a light mapped all throughout that park area, as well as...
Look at the innovation.
I know, isn't it exciting?
Yeah.
And then Centennial Plaza will be featuring a light show to music. And then 5 other installations throughout downtown. You will have an online guide that you can use right on your phone, and it'll tell you different specials at our different restaurants and retail shops downtown where you can stop into vendors and there'll be a special that you can get by just opening up your phone, going to the CantonLightFestival.com. It'll tell you all the specials, and you can experience it all at your own pace in your own safe way. And we will be able to bring people some light back to our community during kind of a little bit of a dark time. But like you said, innovation and creativity abound in this community, and we're going to create some things that everyone can really enjoy.
Yeah, I love it. Talking about benders and twisted olive. Oh my gosh, I'm hungry.
I know. Wouldn't you like to have some bender fries right about now?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I would. So you focus on collaboration and inclusion and really bringing people and industries together. I'm wondering if you can tell me what might have been a memorable collaboration for you. And this could be this year, any of the years that you've been with Visit Canton.
Honestly, it's funny you should mention that. One of the highlights really is the one I just mentioned, the Canton Light Festival. We are partnering with Arts and Stark. About 4 years ago, Arts and Stark and Visit Canton entered into a long-term partnership in which we invest a portion of our budget each year into growing and investing in cultural tourism assets throughout the community. And this happens to be our first really big show. And to be honest, it was going to be even bigger pre-pandemic. It was going to be multiple exhibits at other museums and all of the other major arts groups joining in. And unfortunately, the only thing that's safe now to do is the light mapping and the light festival, which is still amazing. And we're so excited about it. But working with Arts and Stark has been such a true collaboration because it's amazing what you can do when you don't care who gets the credit for it. And the only people, our only motto is to bring people to the community or bring people out of their homes safely who live in the community to experience art and culture and our great community. That's it. That's all we want. And I'm so proud of that. Oh, thanks.
You said a mouthful just now. That is awesome. Yeah, it is really important what you can accomplish when you're not concerned about who the credit is doled out to.
Yep. And I think if more people led in that way in their communities, we could really begin to grow. And again, we're not in competition with each other. I mean, our communities aren't competing against one another. Our organizations aren't competing against one another. If we really all add up all of our strengths, think of how much even greater we could be.
Yeah, community over competition, everyone. I love it. I have one last question. It's for you. It could be in life or in work. I just want to know what you're excited about.
Oh, I'm excited to be able to connect once again with family and friends the way I used to. And I love Zoom, and I've been able to still see some friends on a very limited basis, but I will never take for granted again how much I crave and miss being with people and being in my community and going into my favorite restaurants and having a conversation with people, or, I'll never again take for granted how long it would take me to drive to the Hall of Fame to volunteer during Hall of Fame week, where it would take me 40 minutes to drive 2 miles to try to get to my parking spots. I'll never take that for granted again because I can't wait to see people. I miss people.
Yeah. We need to be grateful and we need to be grateful of what we have.
Yeah.
Allie, it has been such a pleasure to connect with you in this way. I see you online. I see your beautiful Avery all grown up. I cannot believe that she's a junior in high school. She's so gorgeous and tall. Hello, supermodel.
She is our basketball girl. She's the captain of her basketball team, one of the captains. So she, thankfully, so far, knock on wood, she's going to have a season. So that's what I'm hopeful for that too. I can't wait to watch her play more. So thank you so much for asking me these great questions. It was such a pleasure to see your beautiful face, and Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas, Allie. Thank you again. And I will hopefully talk to you soon. Okay.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you to our guest today, and thank you for tuning in. Cheers. Until next time.